I'm not part of any nonsense you're talking about. I'm not part of any slush fund or anything. I question people the same way I'm questioning you, all of them, including Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi. I questioned him because I'm about the truth and nothing else but the truth. And I'm not going to be patronized or be intimidated by anyone, not me. They can try with other people, not me. Okay. So you must never ever group me with people who are involved with some people who are doing wrongdoings in the crime intelligence. If you have been following the proceedings here, you will see that I've taken the same posture with everyone. You are talking about former General Phahlane. He's still coming to us. We are not done with him. When his turn comes, we'll attend to it.
South Africa's first post-apartheid National Police Commissioner, George Vivaz, has launched a scathing critique of controversial forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan, dismissing him as a blatant name-dropper who exaggerates his expertise to court attention. Speaking on the African Renaissance podcast hosted by former EFF Member of Parliament Dr. Mbuyiseni Ndlozi, Vivaz questioned O'Sullivan's credentials and accused him of projecting himself as a leading authority on policing without clear foundation, and that he's seeking attention. He's seeking to create the impression that he's the big police expert, which is not. Appointed in 1995 by President Nelson Mandela, Vivaz became the first National Commissioner of the newly established South African Police Services, SAPS, under democracy, tasked with merging 11 fragmented policing agencies inherited from apartheid into a single national force. He spent 5 years consolidating the structures into a unified service. His tenure ended in January 2000. He was succeeded by Jackie Silebi, who later faced corruption charges and died in 2015. Vivaz remains widely regarded as the only national commissioner to complete a full term without scandal. Reflecting on his time in office, Vivaz described strong political backing from both Mandela and his successor, Thabo Mbeki, and said, "I worked well with him. He supported me in everything that I did." When he spoke about Mbeki, he added that we had a good relationship. "It was always a pleasure. I think he had a lot of trust in me." Turning to current tensions within SAPS, Vivaz pointed to what he believes a lack of political support for KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and said, "Why is that Nhlanhla is going the way he did? He never had the right political support," suggesting that the National Commissioner General Fanny Masemula should have defended him more robustly. Mkhwanazi, known for his hardline stance against corruption, made headlines in July last year when he alleged that elements within the justice system were shielding criminal networks and interfering in police operations. His claims followed the controversial disbandment of the KwaZulu-Natal Political Killings Task Team, PKTT, which had been investigating politically linked assassinations. Mkhwanazi accused the police minister, Senzo Mchunu, now suspended, of playing a role in the decision to close the unit. The allegations prompted President Cyril Ramaphosa to establish the Mahlanga Commission of Inquiry. Vivaz was unequivocal on the matter of authority and said the minister is not entitled to close units and to open units. That authority lies with the commissioner. If it's true that he decided to close the unit, then he was wrong. The disbandment followed a request by KwaZulu-Natal-based crime researcher Mary Haas, who had raised concerns about the unit, a move that sparked a public debate. At the center of the broader dispute is O'Sullivan, who recently testified before Parliament's ad hoc committee probing corruption within the justice system. When asked about him, Vivaz initially responded, "Who's that?" He said he met O'Sullivan only once during his tenure, when O'Sullivan sought a meeting under the pretext of sharing important information. At the time, reports suggested Vivaz might take up a United Nations-related policing role in Ireland, an offer he said he declined, and that he said, "If you don't take me with you, you are going to be dead in the water." Vivaz recalled and said, "I told him I wasn't going anywhere." That was the last substantive interaction I had with him. The man doesn't know me. Vivas expressed astonishment at claims that O'Sullivan presents himself as a well-connected to senior policing figures. He said, I don't know what his qualifications are. I don't know who he is working for. I think he's a blatant name dropper. While acknowledging that O'Sullivan previously served as a group executive for aviation security at Airports Company South Africa, AXA, Vivas dismissed this as insufficient to justify claims of policing expertise and said yes, he was head of airport security, but that doesn't make you a police expert. O'Sullivan has positioned himself as a long-time investigator of corruption within SAPS. Speaking outside Parliament in Cape Town, he recently described Mkhwanazi Masemula and Crime Intelligence Head Lieutenant General Dumisani Khumalo as rogue and alleged they belonged in prison. And said the rogue elements in the police are a problem that has been in the country for more than 20 years, claiming that 15 generals and 18 brigadiers are facing criminal charges as a result of investigations he conducted. He has acknowledged that he does not hold formal academic qualifications for his former executive role at AXA, but maintains he was appointed based on operational experience, including 12 years as a police revisist. George rejected O'Sullivan's characterization of Mkhwanazi and said, that is so far removed from how I know Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. I really know the man. As tensions within the country's policing leadership continue to unfold, now under the scrutiny of a presidential commission, Vivas's remarks add yet another voice to an increasingly public battle over credibility, authority, and the future direction of law enforcement in South Africa. Meanwhile, Paul O'Sullivan has firmly denied allegations that he is an informant peddler as he faced intense questioning from members of Parliament's ad hoc committee. The hearing turned confrontational when ANC Member of Parliament Xola Nqola asked O'Sullivan whether he could be considered a habitual liar, a name dropper, or an information peddler. O'Sullivan replied and said, of course not. Nqola referenced a podcast in which former Police Commissioner George Vivas had allegedly called O'Sullivan a liar. He challenged O'Sullivan, saying, so everyone else is lying except you. A lot of people you are mentioning, you say they are lying. That includes Fani Masemula, Dumisani Khumalo, and Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. So everyone in South Africa and the world is lying except Mr. Paul O'Sullivan. The Umkhonto Party Member of Parliament Vusi Shongwe also questioned O'Sullivan about his allegations that some MPs received confidential information from crime intelligence officials. Shongwe pointed out that O'Sullivan himself claimed to get information from a reliable source within crime intelligence and asked if this wasn't the same thing he was accusing members of Parliament, and said you can be the white-brown Mogotsi, drawing a comparison between O'Sullivan, an alleged political fixer Oba Brown Mogotsi, who claims to be an undercover operative for crime intelligence. O'Sullivan was also questioned about a braai linked to ZAC organized crime figure Radovan, which Police Minister Senzo Mchunu Chief of Staff Cedric Nkabinde said was the setting for a plot against former acting National Police Commissioner Kgomoso Phahlane. O'Sullivan described the gathering as an informal braai that lasted 2 hours, attended by former Independent Police Investigative Directorate IPID head Robert McBride, suspended Deputy National Police Commissioner Shadrack Sipien, and several other officials. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.